8 months. That's how long it took for us to get some basic statistics from Crime Stoppers, a nonprofit that receives public money through the court system. It all started back in February with one simple question. What types of crimes did Crime Stoppers help to solve in 2016, and how many? For months, we went back and forth with the nonprofit, attempting to get those statistics. Repeatedly, CEO Darlene Costanzo told us we couldn't have that information. You can't give us a ballpark, 3 homicides solved versus 30, any sort of range.
Right, we're not going to do that because we are always very concerned about the confidentiality of our tipsters.
It was information we easily obtained from a number of different Crime Stoppers organizations across the country. They were all able to give us this information, the basic statistics, some within just a matter of minutes on the telephone. Why is that different than what we can get from you?
First off, it's not always comparing apples to apples when you're talking about different Crime Stoppers organizations. But again, I go back to the climate of the city that's involved.
State law dictates Crime Stoppers receive public money through court fees. We found a former judge who said he couldn't get crime statistics either.
It felt like Don Quixote. It was a battle you couldn't win because all the forces were against you.
Retired Jefferson Parish Judge George Giacobbe.
They wouldn't give it to me.
They wouldn't give you a basic breakdown?
Right. When I was on the bench, I would ask and I would never get it. But I wasn't going to force the issue.
So you would ask for a basic breakdown of how many crimes were solved through Crime Stoppers, and they wouldn't give you anything?
Not that, and also where the money was going, how much was spent, where it was spent. They wouldn't give it to me.
As we poured through Crime Stoppers state audits and 990s, we discovered the organization has $3 million in assets. Before our investigation, Crime Stoppers offered up to $2,500 for tips in homicide cases. Police sources questioned why offer just $2,500 in a city riddled with violent crime when the organization has so much money.
I just don't think $2,500 is even going to be an enough amount for somebody to even think about getting involved in it.
We did a study and we looked at comparisons and we came up with a number which other organizations had then bumped up to of $2,500.
After our first story aired in May, this happened.
Crime Stoppers is announcing today for the summer months that we have now increased our reward in homicides up to $5,000.
Crime Stoppers wouldn't say if our questions prompted the organization to offer more money. In fact, Costanzo wouldn't speak to us at all. You can't answer any questions when we come to a press conference that you called.
We have answered our questions about this program. Thank you so much for coming.
We just want to know why, if you could elaborate, why today you're announcing this increase in rewards.
Hey, how are you guys?
Today, those increased rewards are still in place. As our investigation widened, we took a deeper look into the nonprofit's finances and Costanza's $200,000 plus compensation package.
Even for the smallest charities in our database that we evaluate, the compensation for the CEO tends to be around $100,000 a year. So Darlene is making about twice what a comparable sized charity would be making in our experience.
Costanza's salary is higher than the New Orleans police chief, district attorney, and the head of Louisiana State Police.
Based on what she does, the stresses she faces, the amount of time she puts in, the experience she has, and comparables, Darlene Costanza is probably underpaid.
Would you say that the stresses she faces in her job are greater than that of, say, the police chief or Leon Canizero, who all make less than her?
Do I think that her stresses are more than theirs? I think they approach theirs. And I'll tell you what, Darlene has had threats over the years.
Costanza's package includes a yearly bonus. The $20,000 bonus that you received in 2015, I know $17,000 the year before, were there certain goals set that you had to meet in order to make that bonus?
I think that certainly looking at my compensation, again, has been approved by a board of directors. There are certain standards that they follow.
But surely you would know if there were set goals in place for you to receive that bonus.
Again, I would refer you to the chairman of the board to discuss anything that has to do with compensation.
The chairman of the board, who stood in the room during our interview, refused to go on camera. A statement he provided to Fox 8 did not outline any specific goals. Fast forward to October. We obtained Crime Stoppers' 2016 financial audit filed after our stories began airing. We noticed differences from previous year's audits. This one did not include Cosenza's salary, and it contained a truncated version of the organization's expenses. When we emailed Cosenza to ask about the audit, she said state law did not require Crime Stoppers to include it in the report. She also chose to send us the organization's crime stats we first asked for in February. Those numbers revealed that in 2016, Crime Stoppers tips helped to solve 311 cases, including 6 homicides in the 9 parishes it serves. In December, Crime Stoppers sent us a copy of its 990 tax form from last year. We first asked for it in October. It shows Cosenza earned a compensation package worth $217,000 in 2016, up from her 2015 salary. The charity watchdog group Charity Navigator said the constant pushback we've received trying to get answers from the nonprofit raised a red flag, one that donors should be aware of.
I think every charity, no matter what their mission is, has an obligation to report to the public on the impact of their work. What have they accomplished with the charitable dollars, the taxpayer dollars, because many charities do get government money? What have they accomplished with all that?
To recap, it took almost a year to get some basic crime statistics from an organization that is partially funded with public money.